as the follow-up to this assignment. Plus you'll have your readings and such for the upcoming week. So our first major piece is the homework assignment number 1. This is going to be the actual ERD drawn by hand using the ovals and diamonds and crow's feet and the circles and the lines and everything that we've demoed for the last hours. So we're going to look on Canvas. There's a scenario, business rules, and you'll just draw those out and take a picture, upload it as a JPEG or drop it inside of a Word doc and send it to me that way. Just make sure that you get in close enough for me to be able to read everything. And if that means having to take like half and half, do that. Most cell phones should be high enough resolution though. And if you turn it in and I ask you to take a picture again because of resolution issues or anything, you know, that won't count against you or anything if it's a technical glitch like that, because tech issues are apparently the way we're going this year. Okay, so that's due before class starts, and I will get those turned around to you as fast as I can, so that you'll have corrections before you move on to the next assignment. The second thing is much lower stakes, which is our project milestone. So this is for class. I want you to have a business justification draft, not the final one for your project, but basically I want to make sure that you know what you're going to do. So if you are going to work in a partnership, you should have that settled by next week. And you should be able to talk about, basically at least give an elevator speech for what you're going to do. And we're going to do that in class. So we're going to break up in little groups, and you'll have like probably groups of 3-ish, and you'll give your little pitch, and then people can give you feedback on it. So an example of this, and the question was asked last week, what needs to be in the justification, and I am not formal about this whatsoever. If you want to, just Google business justification and do what it says there. That's totally fine. But yeah, so basically, I might do a project where I'm creating the database for my D&D data, because right now it's in G Sheets, but maybe I want to move it into a real database. So what is that? That's all the player character and DM data for a server. Who would be the users for this? So the DMs need to be able to look up for information on characters. They need to log in their sessions. Sessions get points, and so all those accrue into character experience. The players need to be able to access information like that on their characters. They need to I use the database to track like magic items they get from their missions and all sorts of stuff like that. So the bookkeepers need to be able to access it because they're the ones that are logging certain things in there. What value would it add? So right now it's in G Sheets, which there's still some limitations, like what I showed last week of I can't just pull up information really easily. Like this thing is just pivot tables and forms. So it's like 90% there, but this would make it like fully versatile, and I could do like lookups and, you know, put out like nice reports and stuff if I wanted to. If this was still like I was creating from scratch, the value add would be that everything would be trackable. And we're not just reliant on people to update their character sheets. So the feedback for that from me might be that, well, if this wasn't something that was going to be used and it's just for me showing off my skills, would an HR business partner looking at me to hire me be interested in a character database, or should I maybe pick something that's more relevant to the real world? If I went on and on and on and explained everything that went into the database that I have, you'd probably tell me that it's too big. There's too many tables and there's gonna be too much of a project for this particular class. So feedback like that can be really helpful to hear. But this is more about making sure that you're able to explain it to somebody else. So the discussion part is not optional. That's class participation, and just take advantage of it. Feedback from me is optional though. So if you don't want to write it up and send it to me, 100% you do not have to. This is just an opportunity for you, just to see, just to kind of check that box, make sure that you're kind of on the right track. Okay, the last piece is our discussion post. This one is required. You'll basically look at the first section of the ethics, summarize key takeaway from the section, like saying here, it can be an overall theme of that section, or you can focus in on a single chapter, tie that into the class topics. It doesn't have to be for this particular week, it's just the topic in general. Databases, data management, data warehousing, anything that's in that realm is totally fine. And then just generate a key takeaway. What are you gonna do in the future that you learned from this ethical thing? Could be related to your specific project, could be related to your work, it could be, I think this is just important in general, whatever. So this does not have to be long. This is mostly you, A, providing evidence that, yes, you read this section, and B, giving me something writing related to grade, because that's part of the class, it's part of all the classes. From everyone who wrote up the intro, everyone's writing looks really good. I didn't see any major red flags for me, so I have no doubt that you'll be able to summarize this and put this together in a coherent, short little thing. And it does not have to be long. Succinct is good. A few sentences in each is at least minimal. Yeah. Yeah, we're all adults. Just be reasonable on that. And if I need more specifics on that, the following week, we'll figure it out. Okay, so again, office hours didn't change, so that is the Tuesday and Wednesday. And if you need me between today and then, emailing me through Canvas is probably the easiest way. It's the least likely way for it to get lost in the mix of, I had no idea how many emails faculty get, but oh my goodness. So I will see you next week.